At exactly 14:30 hours, President Ibrahim Traoré's armored vehicle rolled through the gates of Kaya military base. Standard security protocols were in place, perimeter secured, personnel vetted, weapons checked. But what the security team didn't know was that the real threat wasn't outside the fence. It was already inside, wearing the same uniform, carrying the same flag, and waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike. In just 45 minutes, Traoré would realize that the very soldiers saluting him were actually his gravediggers. "Mr. President, welcome to Kaya Base," shouted General Tapsoba. The sun was scorching. Metal structures radiated heat. The air was thick with the stench of sweat and gun oil. When Ibrahim Traoré stepped out, everything seemed normal. 500 soldiers standing in perfect formation, weapons gleaming, discipline flawless. "Our soldiers look fantastic, General," said Traoré, adjusting his red beret. "They were eagerly awaiting your arrival, sir," Tapsoba replied. But there was a flicker of unease in his eyes. Security Chief Mamadou approached. "Sir, something's off. The soldiers seem tenser than usual." Traoré scanned the crowd. Indeed, not a single smile. 500 soldiers, yet it felt like none dared to breathe. "Maybe they've prepared something special," Traoré said, trying to dismiss the tension. But a cold feeling began creeping into his chest. Mamadou leaned in and whispered, "Sir, this base is too quiet. No movement, no orders. It feels staged." Their first stop was the weapons depot. "These new Russian weapons arrived last month, sir," Tapsoba explained. "Highly effective in counterterrorism." As Traoré inspected the arms, something caught his eye. A group of 20 soldiers gathered unusually close in the back corner. All eyes were on him. "General, why are there so many soldiers here?" Traoré asked sharply. "Extra security, sir," Tapsoba replied coolly. "Precautions for your visit." But Mamadou's face had turned to stone. His hand hovered near his holster. "Sir," he said urgently, "we need to leave. Now something's not right." Clank! The massive depot doors slammed shut behind them, a heavy metallic finality. "What's happening?" Traoré barked, his heart pounding. Suddenly, masked soldiers emerged from the shadows, weapons raised. "Hands up!" one shouted. Mamadou didn't hesitate. He drew his weapon. "Stand back! I'm protecting the president." Bam, bam, bam. 3 shots rang out. Mamadou was hit. Chest, stomach, blood spraying against the walls. "No!" Traoré screamed, lunging toward him. Mamadou collapsed, eyes locked on Traoré. "Sir, trap, trust no one." And with that, his eyes faded forever. The president was in shock. His most trusted man, dead. Now, the enemy stepped closer. "Your turn," said one of the soldiers, pressing a gun to Traoré's head. But Traoré's eyes shifted. General Tapsoba was still standing calmly in the corner, not scared, not surprised, relieved. "You," Traoré whispered, the realization slicing through him. "You knew." Tapsoba smiled, a cold, calculated grin. "Of course I knew. I planned it." "Why?" Traoré roared in anguish. "Because you're taking this country in the wrong direction." Tapsoba spat. "Deals with Russia, friendships with China, ties to Iran. You're turning your back on the West." "That's our sovereign decision," Traoré shouted. "No," Tapsoba replied coldly. "It's the wrong decision. Israel showed me the truth. For stability, we must align with the West." Traoré's breath caught. "Israel? Are you working for Mossad?" "For regional peace," Tapsoba said calmly. "Your pro-Palestine stance, your support for Iran, your closeness to Hamas, it was all unacceptable." "You sold out our homeland," Traoré shouted, furious. "I saved it," Tapsoba countered. "You would have dragged us into disaster." Israel gave me clarity, real security, strategic partnerships. Lies, Traoré shouted. You became a puppet. Puppet? Tapsoba's eyes flared. I preserved my rank, my honor. You endangered the nation with your idealism. At that moment, a soldier pressed a gun to Traoré's temple. On your knees. This is how all enemies of Israel end. Never, Traoré said, staring death in the eyes. Boom! A massive explosion ripped through the depot wall. Smoke, fire, screams. Loyal soldiers stormed in. Where is the president? Their commander shouted. Traitors, surrender now! Gunfire erupted. Bullets shredded shelves. Sparks flew. Traoré hit the ground, crawling for his life. Don't let him escape! Tapsoba screamed. He must die! Bam! A bullet tore through Traoré's shoulder. He screamed in agony. Bam! Another hit his leg. He collapsed, unable to crawl. Mr. President, a loyal soldier shouted, diving over him to shield him. More bullets hit the soldier. He died protecting Traoré. Covered in blood, his and others, Traoré crawled toward the exit. Outside, loyal soldiers reached him. His condition was critical. Hospital now! Military hospital. Emergency room doctors scrambled. Pulse 40, blood pressure critical. He's crashing. Dr. Konate, the nation's best surgeon, stood over him. Shoulder bone shattered, major artery damaged, bullet in the leg near the nerve. 6 hours of surgery. Outside, ministers and loyalists waited silently. Will he survive? Asked Prime Minister Diop. Dr. Konate hesitated. 50-50, his body's weak. Now it's up to his spirit. 3 days passed. Traoré remained in a coma. The country held its breath. On the 4th day, Doctor, his fingers moved. Traoré's eyes opened slightly. Where am I? He whispered. You're safe, Mr. President, Dr. Konate said tearfully. Mamadou? Silence. He's gone, isn't he? Yes, sir. He died protecting you. A tear rolled down Traoré's cheek. Tapsoba? Arrested. He's talking. The entire network is being exposed. Traoré struggled to sit. Then, it's not over. There's still work to do. 2 weeks later, Traoré left the hospital in a wheelchair, his arm in a sling, his leg in a brace, but his eyes burned with fire. He looked out at the sunset. It wasn't the same sunset anymore. In his right hand, he held Mamadou's blood-stained beret. I promise you, he whispered, your death will be the last. I'll find them all, every traitor, every conspirator, and they'll pay. Because now, Traoré knew who his enemies were, where they hid, how they operated. Kaya Base was just the beginning. The real war was about to begin, and this time, Traoré was ready. Wounded, but stronger, broken, but unshakable, and this time, no one would stop him.